Hello, Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Vanakkam, and VIE. My name is eYogi Raj, and in this particular talk, I am going to talk about three things. Number one, I as an individual. Number two, if I'm part of a charity group or Indian community group, that group. Number three, the Indian community, NRI community as a whole. These three entities, what exactly they should be focusing on? Their focus area should be the preservation and passing down of the Indic civilization, and why? Because there is a need for it. So let me start with a very basic scientific understanding as of today in 2023 when we are heading in 2024 in a couple of weeks. If you look at the general relativity theory of Einstein, the basic understanding of majority of scientist community till this date was that the time and the space are the basic fundamental unit of this universe. But with the Planck's limit, as the research is going on and we are understanding this whole scientific phenomena in detail, we are literally coming to a conclusion that beyond the Planck's limit, time and space collapses. Means they are no more fundamental. What that simply means, the moment you go down below 10 to the power minus 33 centimeter, the space has no meaning. And then same thing with time, 10 to the power minus 43 seconds. Below that time, the time and space, that whole paradox, that just collapses. So if that collapses means what we are simply saying, the scientist community is saying today that time and space are not the fundamental building block of this universe. So what else is out there? And this is where a major change is coming. Major change is coming, and they are looking east or Indian wisdom. So hold on to this thought. Every time I go India, I bring books, lots of books. You can see behind there my library. So this time when I went, I ordered from here lots of books, and out of that, one publisher sent me this particular booklet. And what this booklet is, it only giving one publisher is telling this many books I have. How many? 1,000 books roughly in here, 990, call it 1,000. What this booklet is talking about, only the books written in the last 50 years. What this is about, only about one state out of the 28 states of India, Rajasthan, what it contains. Let me read out these. That great various sages and saints of Rajasthan, culture, history, folklore, dramas, stories, vocabulary, proverbs, dohe, sorte, poetry, prose of Rajasthan, lok sahitya and darshan philosophy of Rajasthan, local deities, devi devatas of Rajasthan, religious and spiritual sahitya of Rajasthan, freedom fighters of Rajasthan, history of Rajasthani varnas or jatis, history of major towns of Rajasthan like Jodhpur, Marwar, Jaipur, Ranadhara, Mewar, Jaisalmer, Kota, Bundi, many more. And then jungles, mountains, desert, waterfalls, geography of Rajasthan, political history of Rajasthan. So this book comes from only one publisher, which is saying I have 1,000 books that has been written in the last 50 years of its history. So imagine about the 5,000-year-old history of Rajasthan. How many books are there, right? And now think about that many things which I narrated about Rajasthan. India has 28 states. And every state had these similarly more than 1,000 books, every state of them. So like that, thousands and thousands of books, overall 10 million scriptures, 10 million books written in the last 10,000 years of Indic civilization. So the next question comes, so how much of this knowledge I know as an individual? Probably less than 5%, right? And how much of this knowledge, this is like I'm between 30 and 50 years of age. So this is the story of the majority of NRIs living across the globe. So we don't even know 5% of our true history. Now imagine the gap, the knowledge gap between me or this 30 and 50 years of age and the future generation of NRIs, which are under 25 years or under 18 years age. The knowledge gap between me and them is over 80%. So what we are saying is literally they don't even know 0.1 and 0.2% of the knowledge of the history of the culture of the civilization we belong to. This is the need of the hour. This is the need of the hour to transfer this knowledge. First learn ourselves, then transfer to our future generation. So the next question, how do you do it? So now look at it, right? So our history in Ireland specifically is only like maximum I would say 25 to 35 years. There are certain number of people who lived before here, but the majority of people are in last 20 years. So what is the job of a Hindu parent? Your kid is going to dance class, drama class, gymnast class, piano class, music class, karate class, swimming class, kumon class. But there is no class for this entire 10 million scripture, your history, your culture. There is no class available. If the person is attending that many class, if the student is attending this many class in a week, why not this one class focusing learning about your own culture and civilization? The answer is not many classes are available today. So who is going to fill this gap? There are over 50 organizations in Ireland claiming Indic roots, and they are doing fantastic job. Basically, they belong to a particular region. Majority of them are region or language based, and they are doing fantastic job for the purpose they are made of. The main thing is, are they transferring this knowledge as well? Majority of these are event based, and they are basically focusing on certain aspects of their culture and history. Just organize an event of that in a year. How much of the knowledge a kid, the future generation learns about that particular event in those functions? Probably very little. So that is where, should we not have an organization or multiple organizations who should be focusing on transferring the knowledge of Indic civilization, the culture, history, whatever I told about this 50 years history of the 1,000 books of Rajasthan, that who is going to transfer that? Should you not be doing? So this is where I am saying that this eYogi Gurukul is just not another organization. This is the job eYogi Gurukul is supposed to do. So now question comes, right? If the job is transferring the knowledge of this 10,000 years of civilization, who will do it? Well, there are no they left anymore. It's only you, me, and few others NRIs. Every one of us has to pick up something and do it. And that is where my role becomes very important. I'm very happy today that you guys are meeting, the whole eYogi family is meeting as a group. Why? Because all the people who are part of the trustees or the ADs, the official group of eYogi Gurukul, they are doing this job, but the support comes from their family. Support comes from their spouse, from their kids. They are sacrificing their time so that this knowledge can get transferred to the next generation. Why? Because if you think, if you have been born in India between 7th and 18th century, your primary focus was survival. How to survive? Will I be alive tomorrow or not? One of the prime example that if just like a normal person, many times we think, right, what can I do? If you pick one example, Tulsidas, the one person, when so many atrocities were happening on Hindus during 15th and 17th century, people have lost the faith over the religion, over the deities. Like, क्यों हम इन भगवानों की पूजा करते हैं जब ये हमको बचा ही नहीं सकते? At that moment time, the Bhakti movement started by Tulsidas and many others. He rewrote the Valmiki Ramayana in such a way, he brought the Hanuman Chalisa and Sundarkand. People are hooked up to this Hanuman Chalisa and Sundarkand so much, not just because it has nice poems and it has nice prose, not because it just have the nice lyrics and everything. You can sing it easily in a group. It really sounds good to hear. No, there is more to it. 15th and 17th century, when your ancestors were facing so many troubles, so many atrocities, at that moment of time, the ray of hope was Hanuman Chalisa. When you recite Hanuman Chalisa, when you recite Sundarkand, you are literally awakening yourself and creating a will for fight, because you are taking Lord Hanumana as a role model for bravery, for standing for dharma. This is where we all need to understand a simple point, how he had changed the whole Hindu community, the whole Indic civilization, specifically on the north front, that how he revived the whole Hinduism and created the hope, the will to fight. So this is where I'm saying to you that you are not an ordinary person as well. Your job is much bigger than the others. Now think of the dilemma of a Hindu kid growing in the West. So, for example, a kid, his family belongs to, like, they are following the ISKCON. So somebody asked him, like, what is Hinduism? He says, ISKCON. The Krishna consciousness is Hinduism. Brilliant, good answer. But then he meets with the person, another family friend, that they are following Brahma Kumari, and he asks them, "Oh, what do you follow?" He says, "Brahma Kumari." Okay, is that Hinduism? Yes, that is also Hinduism. Next time he meets Swaminarayan, he said, "Is that Hinduism?" Yes, that is also Hinduism. Like that, we have so many. Somebody is going to Art of Living, somebody is going to Sadhguru, somebody is following Transcendental Meditation. Many branches of Hinduism, thousands of philosophies, thousands of books, thousands of sages, thousands of saints, all of that. But who is giving them the bigger picture of the Hinduism? What is Hinduism? What are the holy Hindu scriptures and everything? Not many organizations are out there. So this is where the organization like eYogi Gurukul are very important. Why? Because they are the one who are presenting the comprehensive view of Hinduism, of the Hindu civilization. So you are that true representative of the Bharati civilization in the West, specifically in the Ireland, because you are the one who is joining the dots between the various sects and philosophies of Hinduism. You are the one who is presenting the comprehensive view of Hinduism, which is basically beyond language, caste, creed, culture, reason. You are becoming a glue of all of that and presenting, giving to our kids so that they can understand what Hinduism in its entirety. So that's why I'm saying to all the family members who are supporting the eYogi Gurukul that rather than telling अपने spouse को बोलना कि तुम क्यों इन चक्करों में पड़ते हो, you are the one who need to say, yes, you know what, let me take extra responsibilities at my home. Let me help you to dedicate more and more time for this renaissance, this awakening of the Sanatan Dharma civilization. Because remember, as I said earlier, between the 7th and 18th century, your primary job was fight, survival. Today, when we have all the comforts and conveniences of our modern world, modern civilization, all our basic survival needs are met, then there is a limit to materialistic needs. You can keep going on forever on that road. There is no end to it. But there is a meaning to dedicate your time towards the great civilization we belong to so that it pass down to the future generation. Now let me join the dots that you as an individual or the family of Yogi Gurukul, specifically why you need to support your husband, your wife or your spouse to continue doing this job. Because remember, I started with the scientific question earlier, the fact, because if today the science want to explore the new dimensions, science want to understand that, oh, we have come to a limit. Where do we go from here on? If time and space are not the fundamental building block of this universe, what is that thing? Now, slowly, the realization is coming. It's the consciousness. In the last 20 years, enormous research is going on in the field of consciousness, which we are calling Atman or Brahman. Over the time, they will understand that what the Hindu sages and everybody was talking about in these 10 million scriptures, basically they are coming to the same place. The modern science is coming and seeking a help from the Hindu, from the Indic thought, from the Indic wisdom. If you and me have not continued on this, the generations of knowledge culture and passing down this knowledge to our future generation, then our future generation, which are going to become the scientists working in parallel with these scientists, if they don't have the knowledge of the Indic civilization, how they are going to help them to show the path, that the path is here, not there. The path of connecting the dots between science and spirituality and religion lies in the Hindu civilization, in the Indic wisdom, in the Indian scriptures. And to tell that story, you need to learn first, and then you need to transfer this knowledge to your kids. And that is why the people who are working in eYogi Gurukul need to work harder so that this knowledge gets transferred to every single kid living in Ireland. So that when they become doctors tomorrow, politicians tomorrow, whatever they become, they have this knowledge. And then they can help the scientific community accordingly. You are joining the dots between science and spirituality. So what you are, if somebody asks you what you are nothing. You are not there to take over anything. You are just an educational wing of all these organizations. And the question comes, why? Why should you do it? The answer is, now I will join back the dots to the first scientific fact I presented to you, that I literally said the modern science has come to an almost dead end where they don't know where to go from here on. The space and time has collapsed. So what is beyond that? That is where the 10,000 years of this civilization, our saints and sages have developed so many scriptures, the Upanishadic thought, which says there is more to it. And they have concluded the fundamental building block of this universe is the consciousness, the Atman, the Brahman. And today it's interesting that beyond time and space, the modern physicists, the modern scientists are coming to the same conclusion. They're moving step by step closer every day. The question is, if I don't know about it and then I haven't transferred this knowledge to my next generation, then this next generation is going to be the lead scientist on all these big projects. So who is going to tell them that, look, we have already done so much of research on this. Join hands with us. That's where the spirituality and science dot will be connected. Thank you so much for doing all this enormous work, what you're doing. Really appreciate from the bottom of my heart. And namaste, sat sri akal, vanakkam, and DI.